Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is my first time I've ever done any video or any uploading like this in my life, but I have stumbled upon something, just with my own mind, is a subconscious mind, and it's a conspiracy. And I'll say conspiracy because obviously I'm just an average person, and you know but like I said, it's just a conspiracy. But definitely have, if you are listening to this, have your mind open and just think about it. That's all I'm asking. Now, I don't know where to start with this. Alright. So, I'm uploading this to the conspiracy Reddit page because where this conspiracy started was I was on this page just scrolling down, looking into conspiracies, just reading people's conspiracies, and just, it's interesting. But I found one photo on here, and I don't know what their username is or whatever, but they uploaded a photo that they are listening to a Bill Cooper, the hour of the time. Now, I've been looking up conspiracies for maybe 10 years now. When you first start, it's just, are we alone? Is it aliens, UFOs, that kind of stuff? Then, start questioning, what's at the end of what's in the universe? Why are we here? Questions like that. That's where you start off. And then you start realizing some things, and things come together, and you realize that a few things. But so I've been looking at conspiracies for 10 years, but I hate calling them conspiracies now because what I looked up 10 years ago, maybe 6-7 years ago, is basically happening right now. And that started off as, the New World Order, that kind of stuff. And what the main reason I've got a video on today is to say my subconscious has picked up on something really, really interesting. And as I said, I've been looking up conspiracy for 10 years, so pretty regularly as well. So I've gone down to, questioning who runs religion and, what they thought at that time and all that kind of thing. But again, I'll mention that I watched the Hour of the Time for the first 10-11 episodes, and Bill Cooper has actually got a very good, mindset about what's going on, because he said these things maybe 20-30 years ago. They're all making sense at this moment, and it's putting everything together. Now, sorry if nothing makes sense or whatever, but please bear with me with this, because this is my first ever video or anything like that, and I'm very bad at explaining things, but I need to get this out of my head and wake people up in a way. So yeah, I've been looking at Bill Cooper, Hour of the Time, And I really listened, and he explains things well, and they all make sense, and what I've been looking up for the last 10 years, they all make sense. And it's so weird at this time, with all COVID going on, and everyone can feel something going on. Doesn't matter if you're unvaxxed, vaxxed, pro-government, anti-government, doesn't matter. Everyone feels that there's something going on. It's not normal anymore. And obviously the virus is there. But people can sense that there is something a bit deeper going on. The average person can sense something. And I can't say word for word what Bill Cooper says from his Hour of the Time videos. And definitely people can correct me in the comments box or anything. I'm not perfect. Definitely not perfect. And that's what the comments box is there for, I suppose, just to, if I make a mistake, you definitely should say something. But, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, I listened to Bill Cooper. And there's a thing that happens in your mind, and I don't know, I get a gift from God where I can my subconscious can pick things up, and in a way it can predict a few things. It's happened so many times. I've had it for about 4 or 5 years. It first starts when, you look on the analog clock, you see 11:11 or 9:11, and you see that a few times in a row. You think, oh, Jesus, like something's happening there. What's that mean? But you don't really question too much. But from there, it just keeps happening. From there, it kept happening, and it got deeper and deeper. And I started listening more and more as the years went on. And there's things that happen that my mind basically predicted. Well, my subconscious mind, but indirectly. Now, I don't know what you call it. I've looked it up. It could be synchronization or something along them lines, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. But yeah. So I'll try and think of an example to give to you. Just a random one that happened recently, and I think it might have even started from here. See, I remember my missus, she asked me a question like, oh, what's the word for 1,000? She just asked me a random question like that. I said, I don't know, I think it's a millennium. And okay, whatever. And I go walk around the streets, and there's one random book on the floor. I look at it, and it says, the book is titled Millennium. You think, oh wow, that's pretty crazy. Like, my missus just asked me what the word is for 1,000, and now I see a random book on the floor, just on the grass out someone's house. It says Millennium. That kind of stuff, and then, I'll go back home that same day after seeing that book, and she asked me the same question, but I didn't even tell her about the book yet, and she asked me the same question, what's the word for 1,000 again? Millennium. Funny you say that, I just seen a book, it says Millennium on it. Them kind of things happen a lot. But that's nothing compared to some things that I have seen in that state. Now, that was nothing. That was like 20% of some things that I have basically predicted, if you will. We'll get back to that one later, but if anyone understands what that is, please let me know what that is called, because I want to understand that even more, because that's exactly what's happening right now. So the other day, just say 2 nights ago, I was just on my phone on YouTube. They recommend you things. I've seen one video that said, but a video or an ad, I can't remember which one it was, but just a random ad or video of people, life on a merchant ship. Them ships that go from country to country to deliver them massive containers full of, whatever, stock of anything, food, clothes, I don't know what they have in there, but, them ships. Randomly, I don't look up anything like that ever. And that comes up on my phone. And it looked interesting because I'm jobless right now because I'm unvaccinated. And, I'm trying to look for a job just to get some money in. And that came up. So I started looking up what life is like on them ships. So I stayed up all night looking up careers and looking up videos of people that work on them ships. And it's crazy. It's pretty random. That's what in my head I was questioning it. Why is it so random? I stayed up all night looking up careers and working in there and stuff like that. And went to sleep. Next day, wake up. Always go on the news app on my phone, look up the news, see what's going on in the world, and just the next day, 2 separate news articles of 2 merchant ships that caught fire. Now, you don't really see that. Now, that's what made me think twice, because it's like, what? I just looked up last night, all night, about merchant ships and things of that kind of nature, and it's just, why did that happen? The next day, 2 ships, one in Greece caught fire and 11 people were missing, and I think the other one was in, I'd be lying if I really say anything, I think it was in Germany, and I don't know what happened there, but I know it was on fire, a cargo ship, merchant ship. Now you think whoa, what the hell? Why? How did my mind pick that up? So I just kept looking into that kind of thing, what is that called? When you see things like that and things happen, it's been happening for 4 or 5 years. Like I said, I won't explain every story now, but there's been some pretty crazy stories. People don't even believe you half the time, but but I know myself the truth, and that's all that matters. And so yeah, I was looking that up. I'm like, well, why am I seeing these things? Well, how did them ships catch fire? And just the night before, I was staying up all night randomly looking up merchant ships, working on them and whatever, everything about them. Just randomly. I never look up anything to do with boats, anything to do with cargo ships, nothing. But, at that same time, I was on that news app trying to look at the ship's on fire just to read it properly, see what it's about. And then this is where it really does start. So please open up your ears and listen to this part. Now, everything I say, you don't have to believe. This is my own thoughts and opinions from my own research. So, yes, but definitely I could wake different people up. Maybe I answer questions to other people that are questioning things. But just open up your mind. Just let the questions and the situation sit in there for a second. Just think about it. And like I said, I'm not the best at explaining everything. Definitely not even good at it, but I have to say it. The more people it gets to, maybe the more people will wake up. Because like I said, we all can feel something is going on right now, and it is. The virus is going around and people are getting vaccinated forcefully in a way. People aren't just coming to your door and jabbing you in the arm. But you lose your job if you don't get it. Over here where I am, I can't even go to the gym, can't go to a restaurant, can't go to cinemas. Why not? In my opinion, with the statistics that's going on, we don't need vaccines at this point. Look what's going on in Canada. They're freezing bank accounts of, non-violent protesters. Like, how can they do that? Seen a video today where one lady got ran over by a police horse. They got cracked ribs and everything. That would have hurt. Didn't see her doing anything wrong. She was just protesting, which is our human right to do. And we are not sheep. And we should not be, but we'll go back to that after I explain what my situation is. Sorry for blabbing on, but I've got to explain my situation first before anyone can understand. So alright, here we go. How I'll start it is, so listen to that Bill Cooper Hour of the Time, right? So what I understand from what he says in the first few episodes is, from my own perspective, is that when people say, oh, the Son of God, people say, oh, it's Jesus, but I have not read the Bible, but I have heard from people that have, and just reading online and researching that Jesus is not explained to be a human being in there. There's no characteristics, there's no, he's 6'3", or, there's nothing like that. There's no physical characteristics that's explained in there about him. And, what Bill Cooper is saying is that they're not talking about, when they say, oh, the Son of God, they're not really talking about, a parent's male kid. They're talking about the sun in the sky. It's a son of God. And why the son is of God is because God is the creator of this universe, as we know. And the Son is a gift from God. So, the Son of God. S-U-N, Son of God. Alright? Now, I can go in real detail, with Bill Cooper's Hour of the Time and all that, but I don't want to be on here too long, and I don't understand every single thing he says. I just kind of, listen to what I already know and put things together using the words he says. So, this is just a conspiracy, like I said, but I feel like it would definitely be close to fact. But, alright, so back to it. Alright, so you all have in your head that the Son of God is the sun in the sky. If you look at a lot of there's Catholic churches, I'm not 100% sure, but you've got the cross, and then you've got a lot of them with the circle around it. So that represents the sun in the sky, Son of God, behind the cross. Now, you definitely will have to look into that Bill Cooper Hour of the Time to kind of know what I'm saying. But from what I understand, that's what he is saying. So take that to mind. So look, the Son of God is the sun in the sky. Now, when I looked at that news article after looking up, the merchant ships and whatever, I see a news article on news.com.au in Australia. It's an Australian news app. The news app, I'll show you what it is, and you can see for yourselves. Oh, it's on that phone. Oh, I've got it on the wrong phone. Let me find it for you. Just bear with me for a moment. Hopefully I haven't taken it off. Oh, the internet's lagging now. Yeah. I'll find it. I can sense it's coming up. Come on. I'll just write into Google, right? Alright, here's the, if you look at this, now this is not what I seen straight away. Like, it was just a random little news article that said, son of Omicron. If you look at that photo, that's the first photo I've seen. Now that looks like, at first glance, the sun. It looks like the sun, at first glance. Now look how bright it is, look what colour it is. You know what I mean? And for them to call it the son of Omicron, so they're kind of saying that is the next variant. Now, if you think about it, that did look like a sun at first glance. You look at it twice, you're like, oh, who knows what that is? It's a random photo of whatever, but at first glance you think that looks like the sun. Like the sun in the sky. Now, the son of Omicron. Okay. Imagine it was S-U-N, not S-O-N. So, son of Omicron. Now, just keep that in mind. And now, if you look at the Greek alphabet, I don't know why, but they chose the COVID variants to be the Greek alphabet. I don't know why. But I'll show you something. Alright. Alright, here's a good one. Alright, now you look at that. That's the Greek alphabet. You can find both the Omicron and Delta in there. And what you have to look at is the symbols that they're using. Look at delta in the first row, the fourth one. It's a triangle. Now if you go to the fourth or third row, to the third one, you can see Omicron, which is a circle. Alright, and if you actually also see that, that's pretty funny. Just kind of notice that right now. If you look at the third row, the third row, the first three letters, it looks like Neo from the Matrix. Oh, that's crazy for itself. But anyway, that's not the conspiracy I'm talking about at the moment. But just look at the Delta and Omicron, the symbols. Okay. Alright. Now, let me get something else up. I don't know which country you will be listening to this from, but the American dollar bill. That's what I'm pulling up next. And some people will know where I'm going with this. Maybe. But we all know this is on the back of the American dollar bill. Now, just think about it for a second. The son of Omicron. And now I'm not talking about the parent's male kid. I'm talking about the sun in the sky. Now, if you look at that triangle and eye in the middle, you'll see behind it that bright, very bright thing behind it. Now, that is a sun in the sky. That's what they're talking about. Then, you got that triangle there. The triangle and a delta. And then you can make what you want of it, but I feel like the Omicron symbol, the circle, represents the eye. That's the closest thing to the eye in that Greek alphabet. So if you think about that for a moment, you think, okay, they're just symbols, but when you think about it, we can all feel something's happening. A lot of people think, well, this is, quotation marks, the end of the world, quotation mark. But, I'm going off Bill Cooper's Hour of the Time here, where he says, this 666 means the start of the new man, the next part of evolution. And he says somewhere over 2010 is when the next part of evolution will start. Now you can kind of put it all together. It's good to kind of write some stuff down that I say and kind of think about it for yourself. Like I said, I'm not good at explaining much, but I feel like it's enough for people to kind of understand where I'm coming from. So overall, what I have just showed you, I'm trying to show you that they are using, and when I say they, it means the people who run this world are using their symbolism to show us that, who knows what they're trying to actually tell us directly, or indirectly really, but you have to be awake to see it. But, I don't know exactly what they're telling us, but that kind of, to me, it just feels like they're trying to tell us that, yeah, this is it, this is ran by us, which is the elites, as I'll call them, that's ran by them. And, with what's going on at the moment with forced vaccine mandates, and if you don't take them, you get kicked out of society. And that's what Bill Cooper said. He said in one of his Hour of the Time videos that patriots and people who don't comply with them won't be allowed into the future. And the future means at this moment, I think, is the next step for evolution. The 666. So, let me think here for a moment. So these mandates over here where I am and not allowed in anywhere, basically. All you can do is go to the supermarket. That's it. Can't work. There is some industries where you can work, but not many. And usually, the industries that don't need the vaccine mandated, they usually do judge you if you are or not. So, as a human being, I've been kicked out of society, basically, because I chose not to take the vaccine. So whoever's listening to this, you can kind of, take something away from this, or it could wake you up. Maybe someone else can explain it better than me, and I hope someone does come out with a better explanation video or something, because the reason I'm, uploading this stuff is, to wake people up, because, the future is coming up, and I feel like the overall thing that I've found and what this conspiracy is all about is the fact that it is now time for the new man, that 666, the new next part of evolution, and I feel like it is coming up when the next variant comes out, which is the son of Omicron. And you can kind of go back and think, I'm not 100% sure, but like I said, I never read the Bible. I'm sure different religions have a similar kind of saying, but, they say, the Son of God will rise in the end times. Now, if you think about it, that might not, I don't think that's a direct message saying, I'm sorry for the religious people out there, but this is just my own opinion, but I don't think Jesus is coming back. I think what they're talking about is the Son will rise, the Son of God will rise, and that will mean the people who run this planet at the moment, they will take us into the next part of evolution. That's the rise of that. And I feel like that is the ultimate truth right at this moment. If you're unvaccinated, you won't be part of society. Where do you go? Can't work, no money. Can't buy anything, no money. Can't go to the gym, can't get fit. You do it at home, obviously, but, there's usually more better equipment at the gym, and, you can't just buy your own because you don't work, because, you're unvaccinated, so you can't buy any good equipment. Can't go to the movies, with your missus and have a, can't go to restaurants. So you're basically getting kicked out of society, and that's what Bill Cooper has said. The Patriots and anyone that goes against the New World Order will not be allowed into the future. And that's what I feel like is happening right now. So we've got to wake up. And we've got to wake everyone up. Because everyone will sleepwalk, and I'll get the vaccines, and I'll get the third one, and I'll just keep getting them, and they'll just walk themselves into slavery, which is slowly but surely gradually getting to that at the moment. You can see that by the prices of things rising, and wages aren't going up too much at all. With the rise of technology, they can the biometric face matching capability of surveillance cameras. I believe they will bring out the chip to have all your information, medical ID, where you live, who you are. And cameras can pick it up anyway. So you're basically walking into a system where you are tracked. And that's obvious because we all have phones anyway, which is the start of it all. It is all getting tracked like cattle or sheep. The farmer knows where all their cattle and sheep are, They're tracking them all down. That's why you put a fence up so they don't go anywhere. What's happening over here? We can't go and travel our own country or even our own world because you're unvaccinated. You're not complying to their evil poison. But I'll let you go here. This is my first video I've ever done of anything like this, so don't judge me too much about that. Sorry if you don't fully understand, but that's what the comments box is there for, so you can ask me questions. I will definitely answer it. Please wake up, people. The time is coming. It's basically here right now. Thank you.